Hello everyone, it's PiggyBank with a special interview. We have two special guests today. Fellows in arms, Nobi and PineappleFreak. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks for
you.
having us.
Alright, so how are you guys doing?
Yeah, everything's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with me and Pineapple, like with what we get right now. What about you, Pineapple?
Yeah, everything's going well today. I have the day off from work and school, so I'm just at home working on some stuff. So it's nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you are still like in the at school with a master degree, right?
Yeah, this is my last semester.
Or
So
last semester.
Ooh,
That's
Yeah.
nice.
almost a master.
yeah.
Not just in arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so how was the communication process from Nintendo when they contacted you about this tournament and you're being in it?
Yeah, so from the communications, I know that a lot of us looked over the rules pretty intensively to see exactly what was going on. And basically, all we got was just an email from one of the Nintendo representatives, just saying basic stuff about what you need to do, and just talking about it a bit. But that's pretty much the only communication that we really got, if I recall.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's pretty simple and clear cut.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that's not clear because I know there's only top 8 and 4 outs. So in the email, they didn't tell you like you are in the top 8 or you are the 4 outs. So probably
Oh.
we still get a chance not to get into the top 8 right now.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I've been taking a close look at the dashboards for a while now, and I think you two are fine.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Hopefully. Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't give it a second thought, honestly.
Thank you.
So from talking before the interview, I learned that you two have quite the busy life. Nobi mentioned it just now as well. Balancing work, marriage, school, and being involved in the arms community. So could we talk about what your school and or what you do for a living?
Yeah, I can go first. I'm actually a programmer and also a designer. So I'm majorly doing like the web front end design and web front end developing stuff. So it's more like sitting on the chair for like 8 hours every day and doing the coding and drawing some vector, drawing some stuff, and barely talk to people around. So it's pretty a quiet job, I would say. And I have my wife with me, because she is also like she support me to play this game actually, and she also play the game as well. And I don't know if you guys know she make through the evil like the group stage as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. She actually made it through top 64, right? So
Yeah.
when I saw that, I was like, wow.
She got pretty lucky with that because there should be 8 people in the group and 6 of them are not showing up.
Oh, I see.
That's fun.
Hey, but even so,
Yeah.
making through top 64 is just
It's
not easy.
It's
So
not easy. It's not easy. Yeah, it's a pretty good experience for her and me. So yeah, we're pretty happy with that trip. So I will say like both of us like the game and we are pretty enjoying with like playing this kind of thing. So yeah, I think we can balance this pretty easily.
cool. Does she like practice with you sometimes?
She used to practice with me, but not not anymore.
No, not anymore. Not after Evo, right?
Yeah. So like our skill and our rankings get way and way far from each other. So just kind of drop this game right now.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
understandable. And I bet you don't go easy on her either. So
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I agree.
okay, so how about you, Pineapple? I understand that you have both school and work.
Yep. So currently, like I said, I'm finishing up my master's in business administration. I actually got my undergraduate in mathematics last year from the same college. So I'm finishing
Ooh.
up.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm finishing up my master's this year, and which is good. It's a lot of credit hours, but I'm kind of doing it in a shortened time period. So I'm taking like 4 classes right now. But I work at Starbucks part time, so I've been at my store for a bit over 3 years now, and then I also work for the board of directors at my college. I do financial statement contracting work on the side. That's not too intensive, but I've been doing that for over a year now. Yeah, and then I have my lovely fiance, who we're getting married in July. So
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, once again, congratulations on that. You have been busy.
I have been busy, yeah, and it is really cool because my fiance is very supportive of my arms career, and she's not a big video gamer herself, but she knows that it's like my main hobby, and she thinks it's really awesome. And it's funny because whenever I'll tell her like, yeah, I won this Fight Club tournament tonight. I got first place, and she was like, "Oh, that's awesome! Keep it up, honey." So yeah, it's really nice. So I got a lot going on, but it's good. It's all good.
Well, how did she react to you saying that you entered this officially sanctioned tournament?
Oh man, she was really happy. She was like, "Oh man, we can hang one of the artwork pieces on our wall." I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome."
Nice. Yeah, because if you do enter, you do get a guaranteed art piece, right?
Yeah, I think all top 8 finalists get like a custom piece of art, which is really awesome.
So I can already tell that Pineapple is very successful in his school, getting his master's very soon. And if I look at what Nobi has been putting on Twitter on his profile, I noticed that, he's an award-winning designer. So you guys are very successful in what you do, not just in arms. So how do you manage to stay ahead of the pack in all of these areas while having all those busy schedule and juggling everything?
For me personally, a lot of it has been my mindset and how I approach different aspects of my life and how I prioritize my time. Since I started high school, I've been able to maintain a 4.0 GPA in my schooling, and and on top of doing like a lot of video games and stuff like that. So for me, it's all about how I approach things, and really when I'm working on something, I give 100%, and I make sure I'm focused, and I also prioritize my time well enough to realize I might not be able to do 20 different things, but if I focus, on my school and on my work, and then I have arms as like my main hobby, I find that pretty easy to manage and do well at those things. I think a lot of people, if you're going to play a video game professionally and you have a career on the side, you're not going to be able to do a lot of other things, perhaps, with your free time. So for me, it's kind of that managing that well, and making sure that I put forth my full effort in everything I do, and I think that's a big part of it.
I see.
For me, it's kind of similar to what Pineapple said, but there's one thing that's majorly different. Is my GPA is really low.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because at school, I calculate the score I need to pass the course. So I didn't do some of the minor exam or minor assignments. I just pass those. And I calculate them as soon as I can pass. I'm fine with that. So, yeah, and that actually gives me a lot of free time. I can do a lot of side project and those stuff. So that's how I manage my time, because as a programmer, you get a lot of project to do every day. Like if you can finish those projects as fast as possible, you got some free time you can use. Like you can work from home a little bit and do some of your own work, and you just have some spare time with that. So yeah, that's how I manage my time. So I think I'm pretty good with balance those two. Yep.
Award-winning designer, folks. You gotta get creative. So, okay, maybe we can start talking more about the game itself. What kind of mindset do you take when you approach the game?
Actually, my mindset changed a lot, like from few months ago to right now, because like to be honest, I'm pretty much a player that easily gets salted, but I'm not showing my salted to any other players. I only show the salted to myself. Like I remember, like few months ago, I was playing with a Ninjara player, which just spamming and just jumping. Like it's so hard to deal with, and I get super salted by myself. But I can't stop rematch him, and I dropped like from 20 to 17 or something. Yeah, so it's like 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a huge drop, and that helps me break my first pro controller.
Oh, no.
Yeah, actually, that's my first time I get that tilted. Yeah, but after that, I speak about right now, I think, as I can tell, me at Pineapple, we are both like the top tier player right now, and every loss to us means something, and because it means the other player have something that you don't have, like reaction time or the sets or whatever. So you have something to learn from them. So I value the every loss right now pretty much, and I think every loss make much sense for us to improve. So yeah, I'm not get salty anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for me, it's very similar to what Nobi described, because like I also get very frustrated. Like I think Nobi and I, we've both probably lost to a lot of like random people on ranked and stuff. Like I feel like a lot of people think that players like Nobi and myself, we just don't lose on ranked at all, and I think that's far from the truth. Like I lose a lot to a lot of different stuff, and I do get frustrated. Like I've thrown a few pillows across my room sometimes in frustration. Like that happens. I'm not immune to that. But yeah, like I think for me, it's always not can I win this or am I going to lose this? For me, it's like, what can I learn from this set, or what can I look at to improve, instead of just defining myself by wins and losses, because I don't want that to happen. I've set that mentality aside mostly, and it's difficult. It's a constant struggle. Like I find that I spend about as much time thinking about how I approach the game and how I approach myself as a person, just as much as I spend in the game, because I don't want to become really egotistical. Even as my skill grows, I want to remain humble, because I feel like there's a lot for me to learn, and there's a lot for me to share with other people, and I want to help other people improve too. So I kind of want to make sure my mindset's in a good place. I really do try to focus on learning rather than just winning. And when I do win or I do have a big loss, I try to, kind of get over that as soon as possible, because I don't want to get hung up on that in the long run.
Wow, I really find that inspiring, because I haven't been playing a lot of ranked recently. Well, actually, not just recently, for a while now.
Yeah.
And, it's because I just, told myself, well, I have other things to do, so maybe it's better if I don't deal with this, Maybe I'll start challenging the ranked more often from now on.
Yeah, you learn a lot of things from rank, because you are gonna face all different play styles, all different players.
Yes, so definitely I will try it. But when it comes to the mechanics of the game, what aspects of the mechanics do you focus on the most while playing?
Oh, okay. For me, as a Kid Cobra player, I've noticed that becoming more skilled and kind of growing in skill at the game, I find a lot of interactions and arms involve footsies, like not necessarily dashing, not necessarily blocking, but just the little minute movements that you can do by tilting the controller, maybe just a little bit, but I find that stuff like that honestly means the difference between landing or missing punches a lot of the time. And I find there's a lot of value in just that kind of side movement. in the game. So I focus a lot of my time on that. I would say I win a lot of my trades based off of those things. So I think that's really important. And also grabbing. Like, I think grabbing is a huge aspect of the game that a lot of players use really well. And I find that I try to incorporate that into my gameplay as much as possible.
I see.
Yeah, and I think those are two main aspects for me right now in terms of the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, so for me, the story is a little bit different because I played the character that's totally different from Kid Cobra. And yeah, I think the two things that helps me to get the top rank is one, the prediction. Like, I can predict pretty much every player's their movement, like what they are trying to do next, where they are gonna move, are they gonna jump or something. So you will see my punch always goes to the prediction way. And yeah, that's one main aspect for me. And another one is, I think my mind game is pretty good at this point. So with the Chilla chain mind game and the way that baiting out the rushes and baiting out the grabs, those things, I can easily take the advantage from like those baitings. I think that's a really important thing to separate like the top players. If you know exactly what the user is gonna do against you, yeah, and if you do your prediction really well, you are gonna take a lot of advantages. Yeah, I think one thing I'm missing right now is the prediction of the guard. So Pineapple said like the grab is a really important thing in the game. So since my prediction of the guard is not that good, so I barely use a grab. I think it's still pretty risky for me. So I'm practicing that one right now. I hope I can get some improvement with that.
Wow. What kind of attitude do you take while practicing? I would imagine that you guys take practicing really seriously.
We take practice seriously sometimes. I would say, like, I know Nobi and I have sparred in the past and we're on voice chat or something. Like, we also goof around a lot with just experimenting with a lot of sets. And I don't think that that's unserious practice. Like, I think that experimenting with wacky sets or just trying different characters or just messing around sometimes kind of gets that creative juice flowing. Like, it makes, I know I can't speak for Nobi, but I know when I do that in sparring and we're kind of just sort of messing around in a way, it makes me try things that I wouldn't normally try, and then I find that I can incorporate that into like my core gameplay, and I think that that's really useful. When I do that sort of thing, I think it's a good balance of experimenting, and then when I practice a lot of the time, it's also very intensive and, using my main sets that I have and trying to really, I guess, see how dominant I can be in terms of that. I think it's a good balance to have, though, not just always serious practice, but also experimenting in practice.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, one thing I'm thinking is it's not only like help you to get used to some new sets and experiment some new ideas. It's also like help you to find the weakness of the set, so you can use some other people's set that you can't beat and trying to find what their weakness is from that.
Yep.
So you can learn a lot from the sparring, the practicing, and I take those really serious as well. But the thing interesting, I think I have a higher win rate than Pineapple in sparring, but I never beat him in the rank, so I don't think he's taking that serious.
Oh no.
It depends, because like I would say in practice, like I do have very serious practice sessions, but I try to spar with a lot of people, so I'm not necessarily always sparring with what people might consider like the best of the best in terms of top players. I try to spar with anyone who wants to and like might need some help. So sometimes I take it a little less seriously. Sometimes I try new things. Sometimes I just have fun. But yeah, like on rank, that's when I'm at my A game. And in tournaments.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
People really do fear you unranked. So of course it goes for Nobi too.
For rank is really getting me panic. So I don't think I can like play really good on rank, but in sparring I probably can do better than that. Yeah, that's the thing I'm different from Pineapple, I think.
Interesting. That's really interesting. So speaking of ranked mode, getting in top positions on the dashboard is not, new for you guys. But did you feel any difference in yourself when you were trying to play ranked this time around, for this tournament?
Yes. It was a very different feeling. Like I kind of set aside time blocks where I would play and just have like full focus because a lot of the time I kind of just play ranked when no one else is online, and I do play as best as I can, but I might not be at like my full focus. During this tournament, I was like, any games that I play on ranked, I really need to just full focus, full dedication. So I think I kind of like set aside time blocks where I had free time, and then I would just play ranked and just focus on that. Sometimes I'm distracted when I play, so during those times I'm like, nope, no distractions, just going to really focus here. That set me apart from when I might normally play.
I see. Wow. And what about you, Nobi? I mean, you have done even better than usual this time around, so.
Yeah, I think I'm getting pretty lucky with this time because I'm facing some player that really want to rematch me, and I get like like 20 rematches.
I did not get that lucky, so I envy you.
Yeah, that one I'm pretty happy with that. But besides that, I think one thing is I get really panicked to play on my main, and I don't know why. And so I personally play better on my alt, so I decided to use my alt to play on this time. And another thing I will say is this time, because in this qualifier, every loss is counts. So you need to take every game really seriously. So I will play few sets against AI before I get into rank, just for warm up. This is not something I'm doing before because normally I just jump directly into rank, and I just don't care if I lost or win. Yeah, but win is better, right? Yeah, so yeah, this time I'm trying to, every time I get on rank, I trying to keep myself warm up. So I think that's probably one reason I'm doing better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about Nintendo's support of the game so far?
I think this is the first time Nintendo support the North American fields, right? It's not about the price. I think the price is not anything important. I know it's not an expensive thing or not a huge price pool, but this shows that Nintendo is start doing something with the North American, and that's a good sign for us as the top players. So we can have some real serious stage we can put our efforts on, and yeah, I just hope they can keep going with this and don't just do one and stop there.
Yeah, I have the same feeling. Like I think it's a real blessing for us to have like an official online tournament nonetheless. Like it's really cool to see that kind of support. And I think, a lot of people were, kind of downplaying the tournament because of how the selection of players was, being like top 8 and being on ranked, and the maps set on ranked a lot of people don't like, and there's a lot of issues with disconnects and stuff like that. But I think that, as a community, we shouldn't necessarily downplay that. I think that it's great to see that Nintendo is making strides to doing something with the tournament, and making this for the community. And like Nobi said, I think the prize is awesome. Like, I think artwork is way better than like a small cash prize, honestly. I think that's way cooler to have something to commemorate the game. But it isn't necessarily a big prize. I think it is just kind of allowing players to show the game at the top level and demonstrate the skill on a live stream. And I think that is the big takeaway here, and that I would like to see in the future is more stuff like this.
Oh yes, and I think the reason why Nintendo started with this is the same reason why they started doing the same sort of thing in Japan. I think they're just testing waters, and if it works out well like it did in Japan, then we might even see offline tournaments by Nintendo, like we saw in Japan. So that would be something else.
Well, that would be
exactly.
amazing. Yep.
Now, but aside from that, though, how important do you think official support is for the future of ARM's competitive scene?
I think it's really important because as far as a community can push a scene like a lot of fighting games have, with support outside of the developer, Nintendo has such a huge audience and they have such, strong connections where if Nintendo is hosting an ARMS tournament on their official Twitch, stream, a lot of people are going to watch it no matter what because people love Nintendo and it has that official backing. So I think it's extremely important. I think that you're going to see a lot of people who have never seen the game or haven't seen the game played in a very competitive setting tuning into that, and they're going to be, impressed by that, hopefully. And I think it'll keep, even if people don't jump and start playing ARMS competitively, I think it'll keep ARMS in the back of people's heads. And they're like, yeah, that scene exists and it's really cool, or something like that,
Yeah, and I think Nintendo and the player play different roles in this community. Like Nintendo's role is to absorb some new players who didn't know ARMS, who didn't know this thing, to get into the game and try some stuff just to get new players. That's Nintendo's job. And for us, we are like keep our existing community stable. So we are play like different rules. If Nintendo is not supporting this thing, we are just have one rules and we miss another one. So it's not balanced. So I think Nintendo really important at this point.
I see. Wow. Let's get in the tournament itself then. Is there any one player you would like to defeat while you're in the tournament?
I think Nobi and myself want to beat each other.
For sure. But I really don't want to face you.
I don't want to face you.
I don't want to face you. I don't want to face JM. I don't want to face Score.
Yeah. I would say
you three are like I'm sure I can beat right now.
Wait, but if you say that though, including you, that's 4 people, so you only have 4 other people.
I only have half chance. Okay, give me someone else, please.
I would say for me,
yeah.
I guess on a more serious note, like for me, but I guess I would say JM Canada, but like me and him have become, like, we've been such close friends in the community since very early on. Like we talk like every day to each other in direct messages, and we've become really good friends. So I guess for me it's like I enjoy our matches because we do play the same character and we do play the character very competitively. And I think it's really cool that we've kind of become known as some of the top Kid Cobra players. So I think that's really cool.
I find it interesting that JM and you are completely different players when it comes to using Kid Cobra, but are still at that top level. So I think that's really interesting to see.
Yeah, like JM focuses more on like prediction and sort of hard reads, whereas I think my mind games and reads are very, very on point, but I also focus on defensive play and zoning a lot more than JM. Like I play a kind of a more patient Kid Cobra a lot of the time. I work a lot on that. So it is very interesting, I think, if you compare JM and myself's play style, it does kind of seem like it's almost 2 ends of the spectrum on the character.
I'm just gonna say nerf Kid Cobra, please.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so going past the tournament, What's the future of Nobi and PineappleFreak?
So for me, I'm not entirely sure. ARMS has become like my main hobby, over the past year, and I don't see that ever changing. I love the game. I love the art style and the mechanics and the community. So for me, I am in this game for the long haul, and in the future, I just want to, keep playing competitively, keep trying to improve. I'll try to show up to whatever tournaments I can. And I also want to, still be a very positive and uplifting influence to other players. I know a lot of people have said that I've really helped them through difficulties with their mindset or, feelings of burnout and stuff. And I don't always do a good job. I make mistakes myself and I say stupid things, but I think for me, I want to be that person in the community to help players and help other people and just be there for people if they need me. So, for me, that's my goal going forward. Not necessarily to become number one or win all the tournaments, but just to make a very positive influence.
Wow, that's a very noble goal. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, and I'm pretty similar to Pineapple. I'm not aiming to top one anymore after this. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna play more casually, and I'm probably gonna spend some of my time in the Chinese community because like there are not too many players in China play this game. So I'm gonna try. And also since I got the dashboard number one in the world this time, a lot of Chinese players start to know me. Like they know the Chinese guy got the top place of the fighting game world. Yeah, I got some interview from Chinese media as well.
Yeah, that kind of stuff really riles up the homeland.
Yeah, exactly. So that gives me the feeling that I'm kind of represent the arms scene in China. So I probably have the responsibility to help to grow this community and try to get more people into this game. And I'm probably gonna do some of the tutorials like in Chinese, like teach them how to get into the game, how to get it better.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably it for me.
Wow, Nintendo should be thanking you, Nobi. China is a big fish.
Yeah, they should hire me. Come on.
Yeah, I live in Ohio, and there's a very small scene here, like, probably no more than like 10 people in total. But yeah, I kind of have that inspiration from them as well. Like they're very supportive of me being one of like the top players and making number one on the dashboard. And even though like a lot of them don't play the game as much as I do, and they're maybe not at the same skill level, I love sparring with them. And we have like online tournaments that we do every 2 weeks that are just kind of casual online tournaments. And I just kind of want to kind of be that influence to help other people along, even at like a local scene, and try to grow that as well.
Yeah, local scenes are hugely important. If you can get enough local scenes going, then we can actually try to, make big tournaments on our own, how Smash did.
Yep, exactly. That's how it started. Was like the Melee community. It was offline for years, and it wasn't very big. It took them a long time to get to where they are today. So, if the player base of ARMS is going to put in that dedication and they're going to persevere through some of these time periods where we only have a couple tournaments a year and you have to like drive 10 hours.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it's cool though. It's great. I hope that people don't lose heart just because there might be some down periods or things get rough or the online connection sucks at times. But I really hope that we continue being as strong as we have been in this first year.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think ARMS is dead yet. We have a long road ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
All right. So once again, thank you very much for your time. I know you two are very busy. But before we end the interview, where can people find you?
Okay, you guys can find me on Twitter pretty easily or Discord.
And for me, you can find me on my Twitter at Wholesome Fruit. and I'm on Discord too. So, if anyone sees this and wants to message me about anything in the game at all, feel free. I'm always here.
I really hope that you two will do very well in the tournament, and I hope that other top 8 players don't get mad at me for only interviewing you two.
Well, this was very short notice, and it just happened to work out. So I'm really glad we were able to get this out there, and I think that perhaps what we talk about today might motivate other players and just help the community out. So I think that it's good, always good.
Oh yeah, I'm happy about this interview too. Let's punch some butts. All right, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you Pineapple and Nobi for the interview. And I would like to encourage you guys to watch the US and Canada Online Open Tournament on March 31st on Nintendo's official YouTube channel. I will be leaving the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you around in another video. Take care.